Last week, I made over $12,000 on the Arbitrum airdrop, and I'm going to walk you through step by step 5 different up and coming ecosystems and projects that I think have huge potential in 2023. What's up YouTube, welcome back to my channel. I'm Crypto with Nick. I'm a crypto enthusiast and DeFi investor, and from the Arbitrum airdrop, I got over 8,500 tokens worth over $12,000. Airdrops is the #1 way to grow your portfolio, especially if you're starting off small. We're going to dive into 5 different projects: zkSync, LayerZero, Scroll, Shardeum, and Sui. There will be timestamps below. Feel free to skip around. Hit that like button and subscribe. It means the world. Anyways, let's get into today's video. The first one we're going to check out today is zkSync Era, whose mainnet alpha went live just a few days ago. zkSync by Matter Labs is a layer 2 scaling solution for Ethereum, and it's often said to be the end game for scaling solutions. We can see in their latest round of fundraising, they raised over $200 million from top investors. I'm talking about A16Z, Dragonfly Capital, and Lightspeed. These are some of the world's best investing firms. zkSync did almost an entire year of testnet. They did almost 9 million transactions. They spent over $4 million on audits and bounties and are audited by top firms like OpenZeppelin and Code4 Arena. And of course, we have the Unified Bug Bounty. If you come here to their site, zkSync.io, right, you're immediately greeted with the option to bridge. From here, you can bridge from the ETH mainnet over to the zk Era mainnet. Once you've bridged over some ETH, you can come over here, check out the ecosystem page. I'll put the link in the description, and you can see there's a ton of apps that plan to go live or are already live over here on the mainnet. One of the things we can do is come over here, mute.io, and we can go ahead and swap different tokens or go ahead and provide liquidity. I've also seen quite a few meme coins already start to launch over on Mute.io in this ecosystem, so definitely something to look out for if you're that kind of degen. Another DEX that you might be interested in is coming over here to SwapSync. And it's the same story. You can come over here, you can create new positions, provide liquidity, yield farm, and swap some tokens. We already have an NFT marketplace live known as Mint Square. You can come over here. Of course, you can buy, sell, and mint different NFTs. And if you're interested, Unidex is already live also in zkSync, and this is an opportunity to take on some perps or leverage. You can see they've already done over $1 million in volumes in just a few days since the launch. Unidex is of course deployed on many different ecosystems. You can see here though, of course, they are deployed on zkSync. You can go ahead and do different trading, right? We have a ton of different pairs available for us. The name of the game for airdrops is always just being early and genuinely interacting with the ecosystem, and that's always your best chance. You can see we have a ton of major players that plan to launch on zkSync Era, everything from 1inch, SushiSwap, Frax Finance, Uniswap, right? So definitely just be a lookout as this ecosystem continues to develop in 2023. Next up is one of my favorite projects, LayerZero Labs. With all these different blockchains and ecosystems feeling so fragmented, they're really trying to tackle the problem of how do we connect all these different ecosystems seamlessly together. LayerZero Labs has also raised over $100 million, putting them at a $1 billion unicorn valuation. Top investing team here, A16Z, great to see. FTX, maybe not so great to see, but at this point doesn't matter. They've already provided the fundraising, and of course Sequoia, which is just a rock star in this space. One of the first projects that caught my eye is actually Stargate Finance, which aims to be this omni-chain bridge, and it's actually my personal favorite when bridging between all these different ecosystems. Stargate Finance is trying to solve the #1 problem with bridges, is that it's a flawed architecture. When you want to bridge from one ecosystem to another, say Ethereum to Solana, you actually give your tokens to a bridge. They lock it up in custody, and they kind of give you this synthetic wrapper out the other side. And if that bridge gets hacked, for in this case, the wormhole hack, which was hacked for over $320 million, all the Ethereum that was actually on the Solana network was no longer backed by anything. It was essentially worthless. Stargate allows you to bridge between a ton of different ecosystems, and you're only allowed to bridge native assets. So this also helps deepen liquidity on all these different ecosystems because we don't need all these different variations of wrapped ETH or wrapped USDC. The best way to qualify for this airdrop is going to be to use products built on LayerZero tech. So example, Stargate could be bridging between different ecosystems. You also have the option to stake different assets and farm with it, right? Everything from USDT, Frax, Ethereum, and quite a few more on almost every single ecosystem. And if you also own Stargate, you can go ahead and lock it up, and this is going to give you Stargate governance voting power, which will help you vote on different proposals, which could be a criteria. We also want to check out different products that are also built on LayerZero tech. A perfect example of this is the Aptos bridge. You can bridge over to the Aptos ecosystem and interact with some things over there. Another product we're checking out is Radiant Capital. This is an omni-chain money market, right? Lending and borrowing. You could compare it to something like Aave or Compound. Right now it's deployed on both Arbitrum and BNB chain. And honestly, since the beginning of the year, This thing has took off like a rocket. I mean, look at this. It's up almost 10x. They just got a BNB listing, completely wild to see, but these are the kind of things that you're going to want to interact with. LayerZero is doing so much. We have these little pudgies here, right? They're entering the portal and they're going to pop out the other side. Being one of the first NFT collections I've seen go ahead and go completely and truly cross-chain, all powered right by LayerZero. So could be an interesting use case and criteria here. Next, we're going to check out Scroll. This is going to be another zk EVM scaling solution for Ethereum. Scroll went ahead and raised over $50 million, bringing them to almost a $2 billion valuation. Right now, Scroll is in phase 3 in its alpha testnet. We could see the airdrop come when they hit the phase 4, which will be the zk EVM mainnet. If it doesn't happen there, I'm still optimistic when they get to the decentralized sequencers. What we can do is just click this join alpha testnet, and it's going to take us immediately to this page where we can go ahead and add the layer 2 network to our MetaMask by just connecting our wallet. To go ahead and interact on the testnet, you're going to want to come visit the Gorley faucet provided by Alchemy. You're going to have to create an account, but this will help you get some testnet ETH so that way you can interact on the AlphaNet. Once you do that, if you head back over here, you can scroll down a little bit, right? You'll notice they have a bridge section. You can go ahead and bridge from the Gorley testnet over to the Scroll alpha testnet. Then what I'd recommend doing is heading over to Guild XYZ and looking for the Scroll experience. You can go ahead and connect your Discord, your wallet, and your Twitter, and you can get a mystery role in their Discord. You can also check out this web app, Scroll Kingdoms, and you can go ahead and mint an NFT and play around here a little bit. You can also use something like Orbiter to bridge back from the Scroll AlphaNet to the Ethereum testnet. Next, we're going to be checking out a new layer 1 known as Shardeum. It's EVM based and it's pretty interesting because it scales linearly. So as you add more nodes, the transaction per second actually increases the throughput. Of course, Shardeum has also raised millions of dollars, 18.2 in their latest seed round. You can see here quite a few notable names, people like Jane Street, CoinGecko, Spartan, and a few more. First thing you want to do is go ahead and get some Shardeum tokens and connect to the testnet. So what you'll need to do is actually go ahead and visit the Discord, and I recommend connecting to Liberty 2.x. In the Discord, you'll go ahead and you can run the faucet command. You'll put in your wallet address. They even have a video to help walk you through this. Once you got your tokens, we can interact with different apps that have been being built on the ecosystem. We can come over here to swap Binance. This is, of course, a decentralized exchange. We can come over here. We can swap some coins. So I'll go ahead and make this swap. The thing that you might be interested in doing if you're a little bit more technical is actually running your own node. We saw this with Aptos, that people who ran test nodes were incentivized heavily when they did their airdrop. So they have a full YouTube instruction on it. I imagine it's going to cost you, I think, about $50 a month. So just be mindful of that. For the last one, we're going to cover one of the most exciting up-and-coming blockchains in 2023, and that's going to be Sui provided by Mistin Labs. If you aren't familiar with Mistin Labs or Aptos, both of these teams came from ex-Meta employees that used to work on Project Libra over there. Sui and Aptos can both do over 100,000 transactions per second, often being called the Solana killer. Recently, just yesterday, they finally announced this is going to be their permanent testnet. And we've seen in the past that the Aptos Foundation airdropped over 20 million tokens to its early testnet users. There's two different wallets you can check out. I'm personally using the Sui wallet, but you can also use the new Suet wallet as well. Of course, we've seen Sui raise hundreds of millions of dollars, $300 million, putting them at a $2 billion valuation. There's not a ton to do right now because the permanent testnet just relaunched yesterday. But one of the things to look out for is look out for the cappies. These are the NFTs that you can build and interact, right? I was playing with them previously on the dev nets, and you can go ahead and build different outfits. So definitely pay attention to that one. There's also things like the Sui name service, but if you click this drop down, right, we can see it's only available on DevNet. So again, look out for these projects to deploy on testnet. There's even things like the Sui Gallery, which is trying to be the first NFT ecosystem over there. So go ahead and just stay updated with this ecosystem. I imagine all these projects will be migrating over the next few weeks and months. And that wraps it all up. We've covered 5 different ecosystems that are up and coming in 2023 for potential to have massive airdrops. But remember, when it comes to airdrop, there's no guarantee, there's no science, right? It takes a lot of research and a little bit of luck, and I'm sure you'll get yours. If you need some help or you're struggling, be sure to follow me on Twitter, send me a DM, come join the completely free community Discord, right? See you in the next one. Cheers and happy farming.